Agency demographic data is an important component of EMS reporting in the state of Oregon. Agency demographic data is information about your agency and its resources. The information is used by the state to better understand the EMS services that your agency provides. The information in your demographic data is also important because it flows into and supports your patient care reporting process. This is a quick tutorial on the areas of agency demographic information that the state of Oregon asks agencies to keep up to date. This tutorial is done in the Oregon ImageTrend Elite system. If your agency uses a different system or your own ImageTrend Elite system for reporting, then you will maintain your agency demographic data within your own system, and your system will send the data automatically through a standard data exchange process to the state of Oregon. If your agency directly uses the Oregon ImageTrend Elite system, then we'll show you which menu items to visit to update the demographic data that the state of Oregon asks for. There's a lot of additional agency configuration options that you can configure as well, but this tutorial will just stick to the basics that are required by the state of Oregon. We will start in your agency menu and go to the Agency Information page. In Agency Information, we'll start in the Details tab. Most of the data elements on this page are requested by the state of Oregon. We've highlighted the ones that should be filled out. Next is the Service Area tab. You should have at least a service area for the state of Oregon, and potentially for other states if you serve on the border with another state. In the service area for the state of Oregon, you should have counties, census tracts, and postal codes recorded for your service area. If you don't know what census tracts your agency serves, you can use the NEMSIS EMS Agency Service Area Builder available at nemsis.org and linked in the description below this video. Next is Statistical Year Info. You should visit this page once each year to add statistical year info for the recently completed year. You can do so by clicking New, and then filling out the data elements that are highlighted on this page. That's it for your basic agency information. Next, let's go to Users, which is in the Agency menu. This shows a list of all of the users or personnel in your agency. It includes people who may need to be able to log into the system. It also includes people who may need to be listed as crew members on patient care reports. And thus it's important that their information is up to date so that they can, in fact, be listed as crew members. For each personnel in your agency, the state asks for some information. On the Demographics tab, the state asks for first and last name. It's also helpful to add an email address, which is not required by the state, but it helps the person to reset their password if they forget it and need to log into the system. Next, the Certifications tab. The information requested here includes the state licensure group, which should include their state of licensure of Oregon, their state licensure ID, and their level. If the person is not licensed by the Oregon EMS office, you can enter any unique number in this box that's unique within your agency, and then you can indicate that their license level is other healthcare professional or other non-healthcare professional. This still allows them to be listed as crew members on patient care reports by having that number recorded. It's helpful to have the agency licensure group recorded as well, which you can do simply by clicking the Same as State button. This will have effect in PCRs. When you indicate that a certain person was the person who performed a procedure or administered a medication, the system will look at their agency licensure level to determine which procedures or medications should be available to choose for that person. Next is the Employment tab. The state of Oregon requests the following information on this tab: the primary job role, the employment status, and the contact type for your EMS IT/data specialist and for your medical director. Contact type does not need to be recorded for other people in your agency. If the person is your EMS medical director, then once you've selected EMS medical director for their contact type, the state asks for their medical director degree and board certification type. Finally, the account details page. Nothing on this page is required by the state, but if the person needs to be able to log into ImageTrend Elite, then they need to have a user ID, a password, and a permission group within your agency. Also, their agency status and login status need to be set to active or yes. That's it for users. Next, there are several areas of resources to check. First, agency locations. Agency locations include your stations or other staging areas for your agency. For each location, the highlighted information here is requested by the state of Oregon. Next is facilities, also in the resources menu. Check your facilities list and add or activate or inactivate any facilities that you need to. Hospitals are configured at the system level, and you can activate or inactivate them as needed for your agency. Other types of facilities you can add directly by using the New button. If you add a facility, then the information highlighted here is the information that's requested by the state for that facility. If your agency does not transport, you can inactivate all facilities and just have an empty facilities list. Next, also in the resources menu, is meds and procedures by cert level. The lists of medications and procedures that are allowed for various licensure levels in Oregon have been configured at the system level. However, they can be overridden at your agency level, and if they have been, you may need to make some adjustments to keep them up to date. You can switch through each various level and check the allowed list of medications for that level. You can also switch between medications and procedures to check the allowed list of procedures for that level. If there is a particular level that your agency does not use, then you can remove all procedures for that level from the allowed list. So it will look like this. That will indicate that you don't use that level within your agency. Next, also in the resources menu, is supporting agencies and units. These are agencies that may respond to the scene along with your agency. They could include other ground agencies as well as air agencies. You can look through the list and inactivate the agencies that you do not work with, just keeping those that you do work with. Last in the resources menu is vehicles and call signs. This is a list of all of the vehicles that your agency uses for EMS, or if you are a fire agency, it would include your fire vehicles as well. For each vehicle, the state of Oregon requests the highlighted information here. Additionally, if the vehicle type is ambulance, then you should record the VIN and annual mileage for the vehicle. To record annual mileage, you can click Add Entry and indicate the year to which the mileage applies, and then how many miles the ambulance was driven that year. And that's it. All of the information in your agency demographics that is requested by the state of Oregon is now up to date.